Mr. President, what if someone from the other universe tries to hurt or kill them during those 2 hours? Dr. James asked, concerned. The President nodded in agreement before answering, "Yes, we have considered that possibility. To counter that, we have designed 8 special physical suits that not only cover their entire bodies as protective armor, but also make them invisible to anyone in the other universe. Using a light source, these suits are programmed to utilize a combination of reflection and refraction to render the wearers invisible. As I understand it, there is a chance that many predators, like animals, could be present in these realms. Most of these predators will have the ability to identify prey by scent and sound. How will we protect the young people from them?" Dr. Ming Su inquired. "I appreciate your foresight, Dr. Su. For this purpose, we will provide a few weapons, especially laser-powered ones, to the young recruits. If necessary, they can use them to defend themselves. It is also the responsibility of our 2 spiritual masters to guide them to safety using telepathic messages," the President explained briefly. The President allowed the participants time to process the information and refresh themselves with snacks and drinks. After refreshments, Boris Ivanov cleared his throat and asked his question. "Mr. President, I would like to know about the visa and travel arrangements if we accept the offer." "No need to worry about that, Boris. It will be taken care of by our Chief Operating Officer, William, and his assistant, Miss Sansa. The White House will cover all costs, including travel tickets, visa processing, and relocation," the President answered calmly. "Mr. President, if I may?" Mata Radhadevi raised her hand from the online screen. "Please go ahead, respected Mata Radhadevi," the President encouraged. "What would be the specified roles of the 2 spiritual leaders in this project?" Mataji asked gently. "The 2 spiritual leaders play a vital role in this project. You are expected to coordinate with our administrative officers in identifying, locating, and helping the 8 adolescents realize their true potential in spiritual abilities. After recruitment, you will be responsible for training them in spiritual aspects and guiding them during their mission. I understand you both are adept at sending and receiving telepathic messages. Please correct me if I am wrong," the President intoned, ensuring his tone was pleasant. "Yes, Mr. President, I possess the ability to communicate telepathically with others who have an open mind. Leaving that aside, I have one concern. In Hindu religion, questioning or intervening in the process of God or nature is unacceptable. I feel this project may be doing just that. Could you please clarify that aspect?" Mataji questioned back, expressing her concern. "I understand and respect your concern. Our mission is not to question the existence of a higher power in any way. Rather, we aim to unite or amalgamate with the superpower, nature, or other realm beings we may connect with. The holy book of Hinduism, Srimad Bhagavatam, mentions this as a greater good cause. As the author of the spiritual book, Telepathy, the Spiritual Science, Sri Ramakrishna Shastri can provide more insight. I must say that I have read this book personally and admire its content wholeheartedly," the President explained, and cleverly invited the other spiritual master to join into the conversation, who had been silently listening. Thank you for your trust, Mr. President. I appreciate your efforts in reading the Hindu holy book, Srimad Bhagavatam, despite your busy schedule. I find your interpretation correct. This project serves as a greater good cause, as long as we aim to establish connections with good intentions and mutual benefits with different universes. I must warn against using force to control or subjugate other realm beings. Once we establish these connections, Ramakrishna Ji expressed his thoughts with a serious tone. Thank you for expressing your thoughts, Sri Ramakrishna Shastri, and I promise you that we will never apply force at any stage of our project. Our intentions are limited to establishing a connection for mutual benefits and nothing more. Now that we are clear on the roles and responsibilities of every participant, we must move ahead to the next session to see the footage displaying the mysterious sphere realm. The President nodded at Nelson. Following the Chief of Staff's instructions, the 4 LED screens came to life, capturing everyone's attention instantly. The footage revealed a large chamber with an 18-foot-long and 18-foot-wide glowing cubical aluminum sphere at its center. It stood on a strong base made of a combination of concrete and other metallic elements. As the camera zoomed in on its massive, strongly hinged door, 2 men entered a combination of digital codes on the side panels and turned the heavy circular wheels located on either side of the door. Once done, they pushed the door open with great difficulty. Inside the sphere, at the center of the floor, there was a 6-foot diameter circular pool bordered by a thick metallic base. Although the pool was empty, its surroundings were covered with a variety of electric wires, protected by thick cord covers. The pool had a depth of 3 feet. Just above the pool, outside its metallic borders, 8 metallic chairs were arranged in a circle on a strong base. Each chair was interconnected with numerous cables and wires, bound with thick cord covers. All the 8 chairs had a small sphere-shaped helmet on top with sockets of different colored lights. Attached to the inner wall of the sphere were 12 metallic chairs arranged in a circle. In front of each chair, there stood a small machine measuring 4 feet tall and wide in front of it. These machines had panels with sockets of different colored lights, interconnected to every chair with wires and cables bound with cord covers. Vertically above each panel was a 1-foot wide and half-foot tall digital screen. The participants watched the footage with curiosity and interest, realizing they were witnessing a highly confidential machine whose existence and purpose were unknown to the world, except them.